behalf of Brahma Kumaris Harare, it is my honor and privilege to be welcoming you to this special event today. Today is more than simply an event. It is an invitation for us to pause, to reflect, and to be silent. We want to reconnect with our deeper selves, which we have lost in this journey of life. In a world filled with pressure, noise, and constant activity, this gathering for us is an opportunity to experience peace, clarity, love, and inner awakening. We are deeply honored as Brahma Kumaris Harare, Zimbabwe, to welcome Brother Charlie Hogg of Australia, who joins us today to share timeless insights on meditation, spiritual well-being, and conscious living. Thank you all for choosing to be with us today. May I kindly invite each and every one of you to place your phones on silent and allow yourself to become fully present for this journey we are beginning to embark on. It is now my pleasure to introduce a short video on Brahma Kumaris.
A global human family of 8 billion people, speaking over 7,000 languages in around 195 countries. Each individual producing over 60,000 thoughts every day. Each thought rippling around the globe, thought by thought, minute by minute, shaping the world in which we all live. What if our thoughts changed from fear to hope, from hatred to love, from cruelty to kindness? How long would it take before we saw a better world for all? A world in which every individual could flourish. The Brahma Kumaris, the largest spiritual organization in the world for men and women, to be led and administered by women, with a network of affiliated organizations in over 120 countries worldwide, building pathways to a positive future through the practice of Raja Yoga meditation as a tool for self-transformation, creating a collective shift through the principle that when I change, the world changes. The Brahma Kumaris was founded in the 1930s in Hyderabad, then part of India and now part of Pakistan. The organization came about when the founder, Brahma Baba, known also as Dada Lekraj, had a series of spiritual visions in which he saw the world undergoing a period of profound transformation. From the outset, the administration and running of the group he established was in the hands of a small group of young women who all became spiritual leaders in their own rights. The Brahma Kumaris has its headquarters at Mount Abu in Rajasthan, India, where a university campus for over 20,000 people holds a year-round calendar of courses and conferences, shining a light on the values of every profession, on the needs of those in city centres and in rural communities, on creating sustainable technologies for cooking and lighting, on the upliftment of women of all ages and walks of life, on supporting those seeking medical treatment in hospital and in the community, on creating a safe space for personal reflection, a place to be, a place to dream into what might be, a place to feel a connection with the divine. Since 1980, the Brahma Kumaris has had a permanent office for the United Nations in New York, from where it has supported the work of the UN by bringing a spiritual perspective to many of the issues of national, international, and global concern, such as seeing the environmental crisis as a reflection of the crisis within our own human consciousness, strengthening the integration and influence of faith-based organizations, each with its own unique gift to share, promoting health and spiritual resilience as a resource for all, supporting human rights and a better quality of life as a right for all, maintaining the dignity of every woman on earth as a fairer world for all, encouraging youth as a promise of a brighter tomorrow for all, turning our thoughts towards the infinite source as the source of all, helping to navigate this time of change, this era of transition from old to new, from darkness to light, from falsehood to truth, with wisdom, vision, and purpose. The Brahma Kumaris and the world family ready for world change.
Thank you for that piece of video. Zimbabwe has always expressed wisdom, not only through the words that we speak, but also through rhythm, the sound of our culture, the sound that makes us Zimbabweans. To enrich our experience this evening, we now welcome a beautiful moment of local artistic expression. Please join me in warmly welcoming Fungai and Maswi group for a special Mbira performance. Fungai.
Good evening, good people. My name is Fungai and we are Maswi. Maswi means words and voices in Shona. This instrument I'm holding, we call it Mbira. It's so beautiful. To me, it looks like a waterfall. Yes, it looks like a waterfall. It has this wooden background and the metal keys that look like water flowing on a wooden background. Before we were all born, at the beginning of time, there was a language, a universal language. They say there is silence, but no. Listen very carefully. Nature is not silent. We're gonna die. there was peace, tranquility, balance. Over the billions and million years of creation, a lot happened. We were created. We were whole, very beautiful. In His image, we were all created, gods and goddesses. Then in the quest of the human mind to create, we're gonna die highway, we're gonna die we're gonna die highway, we're gonna die we created civilization. Tall skyscrapers, industries, dams, technology, you name it. Oh, what a wonderful world. We're gonna die, we're gonna die. What happened is when there were mountains, they were destroyed, blasted, and replaced by skyscrapers. Where there were trees, they were destroyed. In their place stood posters where we could see birds flying up high. No more birds, no more sweet songs, just drones. Humanity, in our quest to expand, we destroyed our inner peace. It's my call today to invite you all that we all rise in all our beauty, all our majesty, and walk back to the beginning of time, where everything was natural and peaceful. We're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die. This is a journey that takes you to your inner self, to your upper being, to create a beautiful world. That is the only way we can eliminate all these toxins filling our environment. The only way we can heal our minds. The only way we can heal our hearts. And that's the only way we can heal our world. Ooh, we're gonna die, highway, we're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die. Thank you.
Thank you, Fungai, for that beautiful and uplifting performance. Thank you once again. Many people today are searching for peace, emotional balance, and deeper meaning in life. One of the pathways explored by the Brahma Kumaris is Raja Yoga, a practical form of meditation focused on self-awareness, inner peace, and conscious living. To help us understand this more deeply, we will now watch a short introduction to Raja Yoga.
Beyond temples and scriptures, beyond rituals and chants, lies a timeless practice, Raja Yoga. Known as the royal path of the soul to self-sovereignty, Raja Yoga is among the world's most ancient and profound forms of meditation. Raja Yoga is not about physical postures. It is a spiritual discipline rooted in the knowledge of the soul, its eternal nature and its connection with the Supreme. Ancient seers described it as a direct link between the soul and the divine, a path to mastery over the mind, intellect, and resolves. Yoga means union. Raja Yoga is the highest union of the soul with the Supreme Soul, bonded in love. In Raja Yoga, the soul is seen as a point of eternal light, beyond the body and imperishable. Self-realization is the first step. I am not this body. I am a soul, a conscious being of peace and power. But the journey does not stop at self-awareness. Raja Yoga is the king of all yogas, taught by the Supreme Teacher, the Master of the world. It makes the soul a master of the self. Raja Yoga connects the soul with the Supreme Soul, the Universal Father of all souls, the ocean of peace, the ocean of love, beyond birth and death, bodiless and ever pure. Unlike rituals or chanting, Raja Yoga is practiced in silence with open eyes. The yogi gently withdraws attention from the outer world and tunes into the eternal connection with God. In this silent communion, the soul awakens its 7 innate qualities: peace, purity, power, love, happiness, bliss, and wisdom. The soul experiences a supersensuous joy in the company of its eternal Father. Practicing Raja Yoga transforms the soul at its very roots. It frees us from the clutches of lust, anger, attachment, greed, and ego. It dissolves stress, hatred, animosity, jealousy, and fear. It empowers the soul to live with clarity, compassion, courage, and freedom from vices, bringing harmony in relationships and balance in life. Raja Yoga is more than meditation. It is a lifestyle, a journey of self-realization, God realization, and time realization. A royal path that restores the soul to its original sovereignty of purity, peace, power, love, happiness, wisdom, and bliss. If you are searching for peace, for truth, for a way back to your eternal home through self-sovereignty, the ancient wisdom of Raja Yoga awaits you.
Who am I when I pause the noise and close my eyes? Am I this body I see, or the one who lives inside. This body is a home I live in, not the one that I truly am. These hands are tools I'm using. They move only by my command. I say this is my body, just like this house is mine. If this body belongs to me, then who am I?
I am a soul, aware and alive, peaceful, conscious, timeless light. This body is a beautiful instrument. I am the one who uses it.
A tiny point of living light, shining behind these eyes. I give this body breath and motion. Without me, life passes by. Names and faces fade with time, but I remain the same. Peace and love, pure inner power, are written in my flame.
I am a soul, a point of light. Peace is my natural way. When I remember who I am, my hidden strengths await.
Just as I am a soul, so is everyone I see. Different bodies, roles and stories, one same humanity. The body is the vehicle, the soul is at the wheel. When I see beyond appearances, relationships start to heal. You are a soul, I am a soul, not labels, roles or names. When I see with soul awareness, the world feels lighter, calm and safe. I am the ruler of my inner world, not a servant of my mind. Thoughts may rise like passing clouds, but I choose which ones to guide. The mind thinks, the intellect decides. Habits can be renewed the moment I remember my power. Self-sovereignty is restored.
I am a soul, steady and free. My thoughts and actions align. Calm, clear and self-directed. This inner kingdom is mine.
I am a soul. where eternal life. Om Shanti.
Brother Charlie studied architecture before embarking on an extensive journey across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe, where he was in search of deeper answers about life, transformation, and human purpose. Since discovering the Brahma Kumaris in London in 1975, he has gone on to establish and lead centers across Australia and has played a major role in the organization's international growth and development. Today, he serves on the Brahma Kumaris International Coordinating Group and continues to support global initiatives, retreats, and leadership programs across different parts of the world. Brother Charlie has traveled to more than 80 countries, speaking at international conferences, wellness programs, leadership forums, and spiritual retreats on themes such as meditation, emotional well-being, resilience, conscious leadership, and navigating change in a complex world. His recent engagements have included presentations and retreats across India, Greece, Japan, Mauritius, Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Brother Charlie believes that while intellectual ability helps us manage the external world, spirituality helps us navigate the inner world, cultivating peace, clarity, emotional balance, and authentic human connection. His teachings continue to inspire people globally to live with greater awareness, compassion, and purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, here in Zimbabwe, we are deeply honored by his presence with us today. Please join me in giving a very welcome, the Zimbabwean way, to Brother Charlie Hogg.
Good evening, everyone. It's very lovely to be here in this beautiful atmosphere, in this wonderful hall. And I'd really love to thank Patricia for her very heartfelt and lovely welcome, and also the wonderful music. It was really special. Thank you. This is actually my first time in Zimbabwe. I had visited Africa many times, but for some reason, this is the first time I've been able to visit. I've only been here a few days, but it's really been extremely special. What I would like to do tonight is to share a few of my thoughts and have a little meditation. Share a few more thoughts and more meditation, and then there'll be some time for some questions and answers. But just to set up the atmosphere for the evening, I would just like to invite you for a little reflection, just for a couple of minutes. And I'm wondering if we can just put down phones and bags and just for a few minutes sit quietly, and I'm going to offer a few thoughts. My mind is the center of my life. My whole life lives in my mind. My thoughts, my feelings, my reactions, my memories, my relationships, and for a few moments let me observe how my mind works. I see a behavior, an injustice. I let it in my eyes, and it drives my thinking. I hear a comment, a criticism. I let it in my ears, and it drives my thinking. The world outside is driving my world inside. And as a result, I've lost my peace and inner power. Spirituality creates the thoughts I want. Thoughts to know the self, to experience who I am, and to carry this awareness into every day. No matter how challenging the world outside might be, with love and wisdom, I manage the world inside. Time has a message for all of us. I can't change the world out there, but I can change my response to the world out there. Spirituality is the path to regain my inner peace and inner power. Thank you. We live in the most extraordinary world. 8.1 billion human beings, 195 countries, 6,500 spoken languages, 4,500 practiced religions. Seeing our world, seeing all the differences in our world, seeing all the upheaval in our world, and seeing all this accelerated change in our world. How are you feeling? How are you managing this increasingly sensitive mental, emotional and spiritual landscape? Around 170 years ago, Charles Darwin wrote a book, The Origin of Species. I think we all learned about it at school. And that book really was a revolutionary book at the time. And he spent his lifetime really studying different species and change. And he came to the conclusion the essence of his theory was adapt or die. And what he observed in times of huge crisis like now, in times of massive change in our world like now, it's not the most intelligent who survive. It's not the strongest who survive. It's those who adapt to change. To me, this is such a powerful message for us that seeing what's happening out there, I have to reposition how I live my life in here. So what is the change that we need? I think we have to reawaken my inner peace and inner power. And what I've observed, and what we all hear, I think, in our families, in our communities, probably the mark of life today, we feel powerless. We feel absolutely powerless. It seems what is happening out there is just dominating all of us, and we feel a victim of it. And yet really, spirituality really says I can take my inner power back. And on this journey, and it is like an inner journey to reconnecting with that extraordinary well of inner peace that does exist in all of us, and a sense of resilience and power that we can tap into. There's two questions to ask myself. Who is powerful in my life? Who is powerful in my life? Is it the opinions of other people? How powerful are they? Look at our media. We get thrown opinions, are bombarded with opinions and ideas every single day. Very influential. Or is it my emotions? Are they powerful in my life? In a millisecond, anger can just change my whole mood in my mind. My emotions are so powerful. Or is it my past? You know, some psychologists say that 70% of our thinking is in the past. We're lost in the stories of the past. So that overlays and influences my present. Or is it situations? Do I feel a victim of all the things happening around me? Or is it my sense of self, who I am, and my connection with the divine? Because I think time is telling us, unless we put down some roots, internal roots, this world will just make me spin. And often what happens in life, there's a conflict with someone, a problem happens, a health issue. My mind goes into a complete spin. How long does it take to recover? And when I recover, something else happens, my mind goes into a spin. Why? Because I've really lost my inner power. So that first question, who is powerful in my life? And the second question, what fills me with power and what drains me of power? Let me do an internal audit of my inner world, my profit and loss state internally. Actually, we all know it. Thoughts and feelings of love, respect, kindness, cooperation, and much more. You observe yourself when you create that quality of thought, you calm down and you feel strong. But when I create negative thoughts of anger, hatred, rejection, dislike, a peacelessness emerges inside of me. Or even when we use the most precious thing which we have in life, which is our thoughts. The greatest valuable in my life is my thoughts. When I use them for waste, it's like it depletes. I feel really weak and depleted. Wasteful thoughts are often projecting into the future. What will happen? This is the big question, and this is known as anxiety, actually. What will happen? How will the future be? Or reflecting on the past. And so when my mind is full of negativity and waste, I actually lose the power of my mind. When my mind is full of love and peace, I gain the power in my mind. And this is why on this journey, taking these steps on this journey to awakening or reawakening inner peace and power, the first step is to really know myself, to reawaken a genuine state of peace in myself. In life we need wisdom. There's 3 wisdoms we need for a balanced life. Firstly, my intellectual ability helps me get a job, helps me make money, helps me achieve out there. But when I lose my confidence, when I feel a bit insecure, when my mood goes down, feel a bit depressed, does it help? Does that intelligence help? I don't think so. The next form of intelligence we hear about all the time, emotional intelligence, the beautiful wisdom to build rich, loving, sustainable relationships with others. To me, this is the main mark of a good leader. But the third wisdom is the wisdom we need now, and that is spiritual intelligence. And I would say that if emotional intelligence is the wisdom to build rich, loving relationships with others, spiritual intelligence is the wisdom to build a rich, loving relationship with me. The first relationship in life is with me. If this relationship is unhealthy, it pollutes each and every part of my life. It affects my physical health. There's so much data today. Psychosomatic medicine, my emotions affect this. It flows into my family life. It flows into my working life. It flows into our institutions. And it's flowing into everything at the moment, this first relationship. Sometimes when I reflect on our world, a very simplistic view I have is that when 8 billion people struggle with this first relationship in life to feel really comfortable and experience who I am, then that flows into each and every part of our world. And that's why what we see out there is really a reflection of the human mind, the collective human mind inside. And so, on this journey, the first step is to really know and experience who I am. And when I reflect on this, there's like 3 personalities in all of us. 2 of them make me peaceless and make me feel weak and powerless. One of them starts to reconnect me with that inner peace and inner power. The first personality I call the I of arrogance or the I of superiority. And this personality takes this whole sense of self from the labels of my body. What's common to the labels of my body? They are all temporary. And when this I is sovereign in my inner system, when my ego is ruling my inner world, I compare with others. I think I am better, I know more. The way I think, the way I perceive life is right. But when it comes into my emotions and feelings, that's when I feel so easily insulted, disrespected, not valued, excluded, sensitive. Anyone here sensitive? Wow, I'm impressed. We know those feelings. We all know those feelings. But those feelings, whenever I feel those feelings, I know The false I is sovereign in my inner system. There's a deep relationship between ego and love. Fundamentally, the more ego I have, the less love I experience. What is the role of ego? Ego makes you feel separate. Ego tells you you don't belong. Ego tells you that others don't want you. And so the first I that is very powerful in our world at the moment is the I of arrogance that takes my whole sense of identity from my temporary body. But actually it's a front for the second I. And that's what I call the I of lack of self-respect, or I would say the ego of inferiority. And when this I is ruling, it also takes this whole sense of self from the labels of the body, like gender, nationality, religion, colour, etc., etc. When this I is ruling, I compare with others. And I think, others are better. Others don't love me. Others don't value me. Others don't respect me. And when it comes into my feelings, I feel hopeless about myself. I feel there's an epidemic of hopelessness in our world at the moment. I feel hopeless, inadequate, unworthy, and I would say depressed. In psychology, depression is like a sadness that my dream in life to be loved and valued hasn't happened. But in spirituality, depression is like a mourning for the loss of my true identity. I'm living my life, but who am I really? And when these two eyes are dominant in my inner world, the two children of body consciousness, the I of arrogance and the I of lack of self-respect, I'm on this incredible emotional roller coaster. Sometimes I feel great, sometimes I feel terrible. I'm up and down, and we all know how exhausting that can be. And this is why spirituality explores the original I, the third I, that I am a soul. The soul is a wonder. The soul exists, the soul is conscious, but it's just a point. And in mathematics, a point exists but it has no size. The consciousness, the self, the one thinking and feeling, the one listening to this talk, sits in the front of the brain, in the center of the forehead, and is actually acting through this body. And the soul is immortal, eternal, non-physical. My body is mortal, temporary, and physical. Life is this wonderful marriage of the soul and body, but when I forget who I am and only think I'm a body, peacelessness just flows through my mind. And I feel so sometimes lacking confidence and inferior and all those emotions that really throw me around. And this is why the first step in the journey of meditation is learning the art of reconnecting to my essential self, the essence, the soul. And I would say in my own experience, I'm a daily meditator, and I imagine many here, that when I start this journey of letting go, stepping back, and feeling myself literally sitting lightly in the forehead, it's like coming home to a place where you feel so easy. You feel so, that sweet feeling of feeling comfortable inside. You take the pressure off yourself to look good, to impress people, to be noticed. I actually begin to accept and feel comfortable about who I am. I'm not always trying to be something in the eyes of others. I come home to this sacred space inside myself. So this first step on the journey to reawakening peace is to know and experience who I am. And sometimes I think of the inner world like a tree. A tree has a seed, a trunk, branches and leaves. Your thoughts are the leaves. Look at some of the magnificent trees in Zimbabwe. How many leaves? Almost hundreds of thousands. And that's my thinking. That's the end product of my inner world. The branches are my mental and emotions. Sometimes I'm perfectionist. Unless I'm perfect, I'm not happy. Unless things are perfect. Or I'm a bit paranoid. I keep reading things into life and relationships. But what's feeding the branches is the trunk, it's my subconscious. You know, Freud said 80 to 90% of our behavior emerges out of our subconscious. But what is feeding the trunk is the seed, my sense of identity. Who am I? When the seed is false, it corrupts the entire tree. It affects the trunk, the branches, and on the top, so much thinking, anxiety, worry, fear, confusion, happiness, just all over the place. Can't sleep well. Why? Because the seed is false. And what we are learning to do is create or plant a new seed, actually the original seed, replanting that I am a soul. The soul is just a tiny spark of life energy. And when that soul influences the trunk, the branches, on the top, the thoughts much calmer. This is really my own personal experience. And so I'd like to invite us once again for a few minutes of meditation. And once again, if we can just sit in a very relaxed way. And I will just speak out a few thoughts once more. Let me sit quietly and begin the most important journey of life. The journey to know and experience the permanent self. But to go on that journey, I need to shed all the limited identities I've created. The first is identifying with doing. My work, my career, my role as a parent or a partner. This is what I do. It is not who I am. So consciously feel yourself stepping back, withdrawing, letting go, identifying with all the things I do. Now imagine yourself in this center, sitting above your chair, looking back at your body. Just imagine yourself floating above your chair. Observe your body, your gender, your age, your religion, your profession, your cover. That is not who I am. These are temporary labels of my body. Consciously sit back, withdraw, let go of all the labels my body represents, and feel yourself sitting lightly in the void, visualize a tiny spark, the consciousness that drives this body. I am a peaceful soul. Just feel yourself cooling down, your thinking slowing down. I am a peaceful soul. Peace is my original and natural state. I don't have to try and be peaceful. I have to know who I am, experience who I am. And peace is the natural byproduct. The more I let go the awareness of the temporary self, my body, the more I step into this sweet sanctuary of self-awareness, the calmer my mind, the calmer my mind, the clearer my mind becomes. The first step towards inner peace is to know and experience who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. To access peace, I practice who I am. But to access inner power, the second step of the equation, I feel, is to know and experience true love. And sometimes I feel the subtext of life is this search for a quality of love. And if you look at your life, reflect on your life, how much have you given to your families? You give everything to your family, to your friends. You'll do anything. But there's a huge human dilemma, and that is no relationship is permanent. Whether it's time, whether it's change, whether it's conflict, whether it's death, the object of my love will go. And this creates such a deep sense of insecurity and fear in all of us. And this is why spirituality really explores the one relationship that's permanent, the relationship with the divine. And I feel there's three sources of love in life: myself, God, family and friends. For most of us, this first relationship that I've been talking about is a struggle. It's not easy. And I'm not a psychologist or a counsellor, but wherever you go in the world, this inner battle to feel comfortable with who I am. The relationship with God, I think many of us have a lot of faith in God. But do we really feel a real intimate love and belonging and a real sense of real connection? The third is my family and friends. That's where I get support from today. But if there is a loss, if there's a conflict, if there's a separation, we know it throws my whole life into upheaval. What is spirituality? Spirituality is first having a loving relationship with myself as a soul, and it gives birth to a quality of peace. But secondly, a loving relationship with the divine or the supreme soul that gives birth to an inner strength, an inner power, and an inner resilience. And when I meditate, I love to sit early in the morning. It's the best time to meditate. And I go through this process where I just let go, and I feel so light in the forehead. The speed of thinking cools down. It's such a sweet feeling. But then I look through the eye of the mind and I visualize a radiant jewel of light, the Supreme Soul. Just as I am a soul, but I'm a soul acting through a body. So you can see I'm talking and moving, you're watching me, the consciousness acting through this form. God is a soul too, but does not have a body, but is a conscious living being like me. So when I meditate, I'm not meditating on a concept, an intellectual idea, a belief. I'm actually having a relationship with a real living being. The most natural thing in the DNA of every human soul is to have relationship. And the law says that where my heart goes, my mind follows. And as I begin to taste this love in this relationship, a real living relationship, but a soul without a body, it's a new experience. But as I begin to taste that, there's a natural connection and a natural consciousness, awareness. And so yoga means union. So I, the soul, in union with the Supreme Soul. And I begin to live stream the energy of the divine back into the state of my mind here. That peace, that love, that purity, that power. It's a soul that has never been influenced, a soul that retains peace and power. And what I'm doing is connecting with that source. So am I just sitting there and my thoughts are just going into oblivion, or is there a real connection? Actually, thought energy is fascinating. As I've been talking, how many people have popped into your mind? How many people have popped into your inbox? You know, a child, a friend, a colleague. You know, you're sitting there listening, pop, 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 pop. You know what the mind's... And we just think, oh yeah, that's life. Actually, they think of you. Thoughts are beyond time and space. You can have a relation in America, in Europe, anywhere. It's instant and you pick up that thought. So thoughts are an energy. In the same way, I'm not just meditating and my mind is just, my thoughts are going into the universe. I'm actually connecting. And when I live stream that light and might of the divine into my mind, that vibration, that sweet vibration, sustains me. I feel peaceful and powerful. It sustains the atmosphere around me, and it sustains the people I love. Because there's two types of support. There's emotional support. We've all got family and friends really struggling in this world. We all know what the world's like. So we love them, so we try to support them, we talk to them, we encourage them. And you know, they get a bit better. And tomorrow, when I see them again, back to square one. And we wonder what to do. But when I actually am in that state of well-being, in my own state of peace and power, the fragrance of my mind, the perfume of my mind, does incredible work to uplift the spirits of others and support others. But to be very open with you, my experience these days wherever I've been, is that people yearn to meditate. People yearn to access the truth of themselves and find peace and feel stronger, more resilient. But they sit to meditate and the mind goes all over the place. And then start to feel a little bit inside, it looks like everyone else can do it because they're all sitting quietly, but I can't. Someone told me, he said, my mind's like a neurotic kangaroo. Jumping all over the place. And we know that, so we sort of feel, I can't really do this. It's not really for me. And so this is why we say, to regain my peace and power, I just have to remember the right things. When I just remember, the most natural thing of human consciousness is to remember. I remember what I've just done, remember what I have to do, remember what you said, I'm always remembering. And all I'm going to do now is remember who I am, automatically. Just remembering the soul, you access peace. And when I remember the Supreme Soul, three things happen. The instant you remember, you connect with a memory, a person, a situation. The instant your mind connects, you are influenced by that connection. And whatever influences you, that's how you feel. So if you're sitting here now, and you remember a family member, and you're very close, the instant your subtle thread of your intellect travels and connects with that person, and there's a loving relationship, I'm influenced by that love. I feel very easy and relaxed. But if you're sitting here, in that millisecond you travel home and you're in conflict, there's a big problem in the home. The instant the subtle thread touches that person, the mind starts to feel aggravated, upset, hurt, unhappy, and I download peacelessness. In other words, whatever I connect with influences me. The absolute logic of meditation is to learn how to connect with myself, is peace, and then connect with the divine, and there's that sense of love and inner power. And I feel it's almost like, if you could sort of have a video of our thoughts. All day the mind is traveling, connecting, plugging in. And whatever I plug into, that's my mood. If I plug into myself, I feel good. If I plug into the past, I'm going up and down, depending what I plug my thinking into. And this is why really, the more I begin to remember who I am and connect with the divine, I develop an inner stability. And I feel if you're not happy, if you don't feel really happy, there's one question to ask yourself. What have I been remembering? And you know how the mind remembers a person? And as I remember the person and their behavior, I dwell on it, I start to justify my feelings. And all that time, I take myself into a dark place. Because I'm remembering the wrong things. All we have to do to regain inner peace and inner power is literally connect the subtle thread to my true self and the Supreme. And the more I practice, I will feel the whole feeling in my mind begin to change. And meditation is really just remembering in this way. And I think that there's three approaches to a spiritual practice. I can do it like a hobby, and I can come along to a talk like this. It's nice, isn't it? Because it's a lovely atmosphere talking about these things. But what happens when I walk out that door? Where does my mind go? Does it just travel back to the old reality? The second way that we can meditate is as a discipline. And many people do. I know in Australia now, half the schools teach kids to meditate. There's universities that offer every student meditation, because the big issue in the world at the moment is mental health. But sometimes we meditate and I relax, and as soon as I meditate, my mind reverts to its old thinking, its old perception. What works today is to do it as a lifestyle. And it's almost like I make a decision in my life. I'm going to live as a peaceful soul. And when I really make that decision, it means that as I go through my day, I fulfill my responsibilities. I do everything for my family, my work, but in the background, I'm constantly practicing who I am. And this meditation is for life. And as you heard on the video, we meditate with our eyes open. And once I was a guinea pig in an experiment in the University of California at San Francisco, and they were studying meditation. And it's an absolute scientifically proved fact. Meditators calm their brainwaves. There's 4, beta, alpha, theta, delta. Meditators can calm themselves down. Has massive positive effects for the mind and the body. But what they wanted, what the scientists were interested in, okay, when you go back into stressful work situations, stressful family situations, does your mind just go back to the old story? And I had to sit in this little room for 6 hours, and I had all these electrodes attached to me. And this scientist, I could hear her voice, and she was telling me to meditate, recorded my brain waves. She told me to sleep, and that's something I'm usually very proficient at. And she recorded my brain waves. And then she gave me all these mental problems. I had to give them her answers and do all sorts of mathematical things, geometrical things. She was putting me under pressure, and I had to give her answers in certain time limits. And when she finished, I was talking to her, she said, those who meditate with their eyes open carry the meditation into daily life. This is what we want. We love our lives, our work, but I want to do it in a state of peace, in a state of inner power, not feeling peaceless, anxious, worried, fearful. I want to express myself in my life. And it seems to me that we're at a time where it's so important to care for my mind, do something for my mind. So what I'd love to do is just have another little meditation, and then, sorry, that was the microphone, I think it's okay. I'm sorry about the reverb as well. You're hearing me say these things twice. But I'd like to invite us again for a few minutes of meditation, and I'm going to speak a commentary once again. If you feel comfortable, keep your eyes open and rest the image or your eyes on the image of light. If you feel comfortable, and I'm just going to offer some thoughts. Then afterwards there will be time for some questions. Just feel yourself relaxing. And visualize the real self, the permanent self, the tiny soul, the self that has lived before this body and will continue after this body. Visualize, hold the image of this minute spark of light sitting in the front of the brain, in the center of the forehead. I am a peaceful soul. And in this state of soul consciousness, this state of awareness. Visualize a radiant jewel of light in the eye of your mind, the form of the divine, an ocean of peace, love, and power. Let me gently and naturally turn my mind to this light. Don't worry what's happening around you. Come closer and closer to the light of the divine. An unlimited ocean of love. The purity of love I will get from nowhere else. And live stream this love into the core of your being. Feel this love calm you down. Feel yourself sinking, calming, cooling, a mind at rest. And feel this love reawaken a sense of self-value. This love will begin to rebuild a sense of self-respect. And as I do, I feel strong. All the things happening in my life, the situations, the personalities, the opinions, can't rock me so easily. This union of I, the soul, with the Supreme Soul is the highest union of the mind. Just a bit away. Each morning I wake, and before I think about what I have to do, what happened yesterday, let me reconnect with my true self and the divine, and feel with inner peace and inner power. And then step into the day, knowing that all I have to do is remember who I am and who I belong to. Just a thought away. And these are both permanent. No matter how much the world swirls around you, I've put down these two anchors in life that stabilize me. These two anchors give me a foundation manage anything that comes my way. Time's message is to care for myself, do something for my mind, remember who I am, and remember the divine. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your incredible patience. And there's a little bit of time if we have any questions. If anyone would like to ask something, I don't know if there's a microphone we have. There is. If anyone would like to ask something, please feel free.
I had a question. Is especially for us, the young people, right? My question kind of has to do something with the things that occur in the world. Like, as for now, at this point whereby things are moving very fast, especially for the young people, and this kind of has, it pushes us some way, somehow, to like engage in certain activities. Well, as we don't know and we think these activities are for the better, such as in certain way I could say war. We now believe that to satisfy our needs such as money, we reach to certain points whereby we tend to move to that destructive side, such as me joining the military, for example. And I have a question on that.
If you can make it a bit essential, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
All right. The thing is, the generation is moving way too fast, and how can we find means to slow that down, especially for the young people?
So thank you so much. And you know, I was saying the speed of life is exponential. There was a British historian who believed, he can't prove it, there's been more change in the last 50, 60 years than the whole of history put together. I wouldn't be surprised, it's just impacting all of us. And this is why, if I don't have a stable sense of identity, the change just keeps knocking me down. I step up, try something, everything changes, it just knocks me down. And what we're trying to say here, whether I'm a young person or any age, is that when you stabilize in a sense of who I am, I have an absolute clarity that I actually am the soul. The soul has no age. And when I reconnect with myself, it's sort of like a reference point of stability. I know who I am. And then I can make sense of how to respond to all the change which is happening around us. In saying all that, it's an incredibly challenging world for all of us. And I feel that because we're empty spiritually, You know, we've lost our spiritual power. We have incredible intellectual capacity today, but we're very fragile and emotional and delicate, emotionally and mentally and spiritually. And I think this means that when I lose my spiritual power, I often use the example, the mind is like a vacuum cleaner. And because I need to fill up, I need love, I need peace. So if you give me love, I suck it in like a vacuum cleaner. If you give me respect, but if you insult me, if you criticize me, I take in absolutely everything. So my mind is like this. And really, unless I empower myself, it's like the world is just pushing me around from pillar to post. Because I think the greatest myth of this world is peace, love and happiness is out there. No, it's in here. And when I create it in here, I have control of it. If I look out there, I don't have control. And so it's like the way to manage for a young person, I feel, is to give time to explore and experience who you are. You know, 80% of the world believes there's something more than a body. 80% of us believe I'm a soul, a spirit. Sometimes they call it the Atma, which means I, the living, the dweller in the body. But we don't really know what it is. And hence, as I said, because the seed of the relationship with the self is so dysfunctional, it flows into every part of life. And that's where if we start to heal myself, reconnect, it's the greatest investment in your quality of life, I feel. And to give time to it. The incredible thing is, you know, we often give time to things out there, but we neglect me. And for spirituality, I need to give a little bit of time for myself. It's really important. Can I ask, who feels it's important to give time for yourself? It's a silly question, isn't it? Why don't we do it? Why don't we do it? Why do we just push ourselves, and then we feel peaceless, unhappy? We have to give time for me in this world. Is there anyone else who would like to? Yes, please.
I have a question for people with those conditions that are chronic, like the fibromyalgias, the rheumatisms. Is it their state of mind? And if it's not, what do they do to pull through such things?
That's a very complex question. Because it's many factors. And actually, you know, each of us carries our story in our subconscious. It's incredible. You know, when you dream at night and you just waft through all your childhood and even things you can't remember, because we carry this whole of our past story in our subconscious. That also overlays and affects my emotions and also my state of mind. I read some data, for instance, that, you know, fear has a deep relationship with the heart. And if I was to say now, there's a fire in this building, what's the first thing that would happen? Before you run for the door. Boom, 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 boom. If every day I'm afraid of what will happen to my family, of what will happen to the country, of what will happen to my health, and if I'm chronically afraid, it puts pressure on my little heart. It's just a pump. So what you're saying is absolutely true. You know, it's not right to say meditation will heal illness, but it can reduce the effect of it. I think in a few months we're going to hear if anyone wants to learn more about meditation, some offerings of some courses and classes and things. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you, Brother Charlie, for such a beautiful and enriching session. this evening has actually reminded us that peace is not something. Before we conclude, I would like firstly for us to put our hands together in a Zimbabwe way to thank Brother Charlie for the meditation sessions that he gave us this evening, and also the talk, which I hope will change us as we go back to our homes. Let's thank Brother Charlie. Before we conclude, I'm going to ask Sister Janita to come forward and share information on available books, upcoming courses, and future events for those who would like to continue this journey of learning and self-discovery.
Thank you, Patricia. So greetings of peace, Om Shanti to you all. We all had a lovely evening, right? So to carry forward your evening, we have, we'll be offering a 3-day meditation course, and this will happen in June, starting on Monday the 8th to Wednesday the 10th. We will have 2 time slots. We will have a morning session from 10:30 to 11:30, and an evening session from 5:30 to 6:30. And so as you go out, you will see a signpost of it, and if you are interested, just take a pic of it, and then you can contact us and register yourself, your friends, whoever you wish to. And if you can't make those times, you can still contact us, show your interest, and we can then let you know of the next one. The Brahma Kumaris Harare is based in Milton Park, for some of you who may not know. So we are on 23 Divine Road in Milton Park. And tonight we have books also on sale. These are very thought-provoking books. We have one by Sister Shivani, The Power of One Thought. And we have a book that's called Practical Meditation, that gives you a brief overview of the Raj Yoga meditation course, as well as, I think, Just a Moment, Thought for the Day, and Just a Minute. In Just a Minute, there are little short meditations that you can just... Meditations means they are set of thoughts that you can practice, that will help you to channelize your negative thinking to something positive. Okay, so thanks Patricia, thank you Brother Charlie, and thank you all for coming this evening.
On behalf of Brahma Kumaris Harare, thank you all for joining us this evening. Thank you to Brother Charlie for sharing the wisdom, presence, and insights with us. Thank you to our organizers, volunteers, technical teams, and every person who contributed to making this gathering possible. Most importantly, thank you to each of you for choosing peace, reflection, and growth. May you live here lighter, calmer, and more connected to your inner strength. We look forward to welcoming you again at future Brahma Kumaris programs and events here in Harare. Have a peaceful and beautiful evening. I thank you.